This week, I was invited out for Timbers of Troy, which I've done a review on it before, but I thought it'd be interesting to play it again because normally I don't play with other people. I went out and played with some guys that I played before who liked Laytonsville, or a mix of talent. So I wanted to see how much my game had changed relative to a course I'd already played. Since I hadn't played a course more than once in a while, it had been at least a year, maybe two, since I've done that. And I thought, I knew Timbers of Troy fairly well. First of all, I wanted to go out and play a course for this week's video that I hadn't played before. So I actually wanted to go out Wednesday and play Queenstown Harbor's other course. They have two courses, like the lake and the river course. The lake course is a course that's inbounds, and the river course is a course that's out by the river. But I didn't want to play the river. I wanted to play the lakes course. Get out there at 3 o'clock, and they've got a freaking high school league going there. And they have a high school league going that day, the next day, the day after that, blah, blah, blah. And on top of that, it's going to cost you $50 for 9. So I said, all right, fine. The next day, which is the normal day I normally go out and play anyway, I just said, forget it. I'm just going to go out and try a course that's a lot closer. And that's when I went to Needwood. Lo and behold, I found out that Needwood in Montgomery County has two courses, not just one. I thought it was just a 9-hole course, which is one reason I hadn't played it before. And I wanted to go out and just hit a quick 9 before I played at Timbers of Troy, because I wanted to work on a few things with my driving. So I was actually thinking about playing it even was 9, and then I found out it was 18. So I went out and I was like, oh, good, let's go out and play it. It's 18 hole, we'll do a review of the course. Unfortunately, I got out there, and it was the week after the South Carolina flooding, but we were still getting a lot of rain here in Maryland, and so unfortunately, sure enough, got out there in the course. It had been raining off and on in the morning and off and on the day before and stuff like that. Pretty much rain about 25 to 50% of the time. It had been raining that week. So I go out there, and sure enough, I get out to the back of the course away from everything, and it starts to drizzle. And unfortunately, because it was a really nice day to play otherwise, not too humid and everything, it was just weird in how it starts to drizzle, and to the point where it's just too wet. Too much water in the course already before we even started, and then too much water. Oh wait, I have a rain glove and everything, and all that's fine. But by the time we got back and we were like on the 9th hole, it just was too sloppy and wet to be worth the time. But I got to look at the front side of the course, and I got a sort of, some interaction with the course staff and all this kind of stuff. So I got a decent impression of the course, at least from the front 9. Plus I got a rain check, which is cool. So I get to go out and play 18 again for free sometime and do like with our approach shots down to the green, and they wouldn't leave the green. One guy decided, well, I'll walk to the right edge of the green. The other guy said, I'll sit here in the back side of the green. There was a third guy that actually came down and moved some stakes around where the cart path was, between the cart path and the green, and there was a little bit of a drainage area there. Between when we crossed the top of the hill and when we were walking up to the green to get our balls, 2 of these 3 gentlemen basically didn't move, didn't get away from the green, just sat there with their giant machine. One of them had a mower, and the other one, I don't know, had some kind of green sweeper or something like that. Just sat there. Okay, I guess we would have inconvenienced them to actually play the hole, and on top of it, it's raining. It's drizzling a fairly good clip, and these 2 guys just were like, so what? If they hit us, they hit us. So what? It's like, honestly, they couldn't be bothered to actually walk away from the green. I can understand them not wanting to drive their vehicles around the green, seeing how it was soaking wet, and fine, but at least get your butts out of the way. Get your own asses out of the way. Okay? Don't just stand there and pretend nobody's actually trying to approach the green. I guess what I want to say is that if they're just too, stupid, obnoxious, pick one to move off the green when 2 guys are standing there in the fairway with irons getting ready to hit a golf ball. What can you do about people like this? Where do they learn to do things like this? Where do they learn that this is okay behavior for greenskeepers? Why is it that the players are a problem, not the greenskeepers in this situation? That's a whole big, giant, fat ball of trouble that you could ever have. Greenskeepers who stand in the way of your game and won't move. Okay? There's the photographic evidence of it. In any case, it was a quarter of the weather on Thursday and 3/4 the fact that the courses were packed and I was just running into all kinds of obstructions and stuff. So here it is, Friday afternoon. I've been to the range twice. I've been out to play 9 holes, and it's Saturday morning, and I'm like just stiff and I'm sore already. I mean, I literally wake up, I'm stiff and I'm sore. I don't even know if I can stand to play golf. And here we go out at Timbers of Troy. And I'm walking on there and I'm like, wait a minute, there's something weird about this course. I know I normally play from the back tees, and I almost religiously play from the back tees, but this course looks longer than I remember it. And it did look longer because lately I've been playing a lot of short courses, like 55 to 6,500 yards from the back tees. Timbers of Troy is, I'm looking at the tee book here, is 66.52 from the blacks, according to this scorecard. So that shouldn't be that long compared to the courses I've been playing. But certainly I remember that there were some shots like the number 3 tee shot from the back tees, where both the black and the blue, you're playing from behind this waist. That's a pond that's at least requires a 2-yard carry at least. So there's some decent tee shots on this course, on Timbers of Troy. And the thing is, I wasn't so sure I wanted to play from the blacks, but especially because there were a bunch of people there. Let's put it this way. We were in the third foursome off, and I just watched the foursome in front of us shag all their balls off into the woods, left or right, and I was like, man, I don't know if all of a sudden I ever really want to play from the back tees. But there was half of me that said, yeah, let's give it a shot. If you're on the front tees, because the fairway is usually sloping in towards the green, okay? Usually there's more trees as you get closer to the green, and there's more obstructions, more sand traps, stuff like that. Now you have to land your drive in all that crap, whereas from the back tee, you don't. Almost always you don't have to do that. There was a bunch of things that I wasn't really happy about playing that course from the whites, but I did it. I suffered through it because I wanted to see what would happen compared to playing for the blacks. You can't do it by only playing a few holes. The thing is that it was all good. I'm having a good time playing Timbers of Troy. It's not the world's most exciting course, but it's a good course to try, and everything like that, and to try my new swing and my new grip, or my old grip, again. But we've got this foursome of Oriental guys in front of us who are slopping all over the course. They can't put a drive in the fairway. This is hole after hole after hole. Then there's 2 guys in front of them that are slopping all over the course. They can't stay in the fairway. And God knows what's going on in front of them. But the guys in front of them, I remember those 3 guys were actually pretty decent. So they raced off, into the distance. And we were basically being held up by not just one, but 2 groups. The twosome in front of the foursome and the foursome itself were holding us up. So we ended up passing them at like the 3rd hole. And then we're casual, everything's casual, and then we started making a mistake of just taking too much time talking before we took our tee shots after the guys in front of us disappeared. So we had a couple times where the Japanese guys behind us actually caught us and were watching us while we were teeing off, basically because we were bullshitting too much on the tee box. So anyway, everything is going more or less well, everything okay, until we get to like the 14th hole. Then the Japanese guys look up and it's 1 o'clock and they're like, oh, we gotta go, and so they start hitting on us. Not quite on us. They wait until we get out of the fairway and then hit to where we were standing in the fairway. So their shots are long enough to reach us, but luckily for them, because all of us were all ready to go back and start a war, luckily for them, they were hitting the fairway and not us. We were standing on the cart path and watching their shots land like right behind us. So anyway, The next thing is we ride up to the 16th tee box, and the goofballs in front of us have driven their cart off the cart path, off the side of the cart path, and into a little marsh right next to the cart path. So they're like, oh, we got to get our cart out. We can't get our cart out. Can you help us get our cart out? We waste 5 minutes trying to help these two goofballs get their cart out of the marsh they've driven it in, and we can't do it. So what happens? They take their clubs and walk on to play the fucking hole. They just walk away from it and race on. Well, we're gonna go hit, play the hole. And we're sitting there looking at this cart, and it's like in the marsh, and I'm like going, don't, and like, what the fuck, And we call the clubhouse. We tell them that they've abandoned their cart in a marsh, and they send out 2 guys to come out, and we're waiting for this all to be sort of settled down so we can take our tee shot on number 16. And sure enough, the 4 Japanese guys come up behind us and go, oh, we gotta go. Can we pass? We go, yeah, you can pass as long as you don't stop to play the hole at the top of the hill where we can't see you on the other side of 16, which is kind of like a blind tee shot over a hill. Then you've got to hit over that pond and into the green. So, of course, we cross the hill. They aren't on the green, but they're on the next tee box. 2 of them have stopped to play with the 2 guys who are walking, and the other 2 guys have driven on. Okay, so we finished playing, after all that nonsense, playing number 16, and then we play 17, and we play 18, and we go on. Okay, we finish up. So the point being that the problem is that playing the course that day was as much about the drama of dealing with the groups ahead of us as it was about playing the course, which it's not an easy course as it is. There are quite a few difficult shots at Timbers of Troy, and it doesn't help when you're dealing with drama from the group ahead of you who are obviously playing out of their league, playing from the back tees, number one, from the blues, number one, and second, they're slow, they're constantly having to go off in the woods looking for their ball, stuff like that. They're just dragging time and time again, and then we pass them, and then they start bitching because they are being held up as if we're holding them up, not the guys in front of us holding both of us up. Okay, not the 2 clowns in front of us holding us up, and then us lollygagging around a little bit and holding them up a little bit. Okay, we're holding them up a little bit, but basically the 2 clowns, the 2 clowns in front of us holding 7 guys on the course. Because so that, and then of course your average doofball, twosome, foursome, whatever, who literally are not any good, who are going to go out there and spray balls all over the course and just suck up time and drive everybody nuts behind them, And I got to tell you, this is all happening when my drive is freaking cracking. I'm like, I hit out of 18 holes, not so much that I was trying too hard or trying to power the ball, but just not focus on what I was doing and just take a casual swipe at the ball. Same thing with putting. The main thing is I enjoyed the hell out of playing golf, but I was aggravated almost to the point of exasperation. So maybe, a private course, and you just got private course assholes. The big issue is to play when there are not a lot of people there, so that the odds of having an asshole in front of you, or around you, or near you when you're trying to play is minimized in the first place.